Hello, folks. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. So, in this session, we will discuss the Java Lab Program 4 of third semester Computer Science and Engineering branch. So, we have a laboratory for object-oriented programming with Java, object-oriented programming with Java laboratory we have. In that, today I'm going to explain about the fourth lab program of the Java Lab syllabus. Right. The question follows like this: demonstrate the core object oriented concept of inheritance and polymorphism in Java. So, this program is mainly to demonstrate the concept of inheritance and polymorphism. So, the question follows: design a superclass called staff with the details as staff ID, name, phone, salary. Extend this class by writing three subclasses, namely teaching, domain, publications. And there is one more class, technical, which is going to accept the skills, contract class, which is going to accept the periods. Now write a Java program to read and display at least three staff objects of all three categories. Now, first thing that we do is we have to understand the question clearly. Now, for what question we need to write the Java program in this case? So here, basically, they are saying there is a super class called staff. There we are going to implement the concept of inheritance in this program. Okay. Now there is a super class called staff. Under that super class, there are three subclasses. So which is that super class here? Super class is nothing but staff class. Under this staff class, we basically have three classes, three subclasses, namely teaching, technical, and contract. Okay. So staff is a super class. Under the super class staff, we have teaching, technical, and contract. Now the question says, now we have to understand the question clearly, my dear friends. The question says, once these three subclasses are going to derive the features of staff class, what do they do? Now something that is common, some attributes or some data types that are common to all these three subclasses have to be defined within the staff class. That is what we have done. See, staff with the details as staff ID, name, phone, salary. For all these three subclasses, respectively, teaching, technical, and contract. For all these three subclasses, these attributes, staff ID, name, phone, salary, are common. Now, that is what we are going to define here. Class staff. We have a class staff. We have declared four variables which are common to all the three subclasses. Now, these data types are common to all the three subclasses, and they are defined as private string staff ID, private string name, private int phone number, private float salary. Right? Now, the question says, write a Java program to read and display at least three staff objects of all three categories. So what do we do here? We have to read the details of all these three categories. Now, whenever we are going to read the details of all these three categories of objects, what we do, first we read these four attributes. First we read these four attributes, which is common to all the three subclasses. Now, whenever we want to read the details of teaching class, so we will read these. So we will read these four subclasses. We will read these four data types, followed by whatever data types that are available for teaching. Supposing if we want to accept some teaching staff details, first we will read these common data types, staff ID, name, phone, and salary. Then later on, we will read domain and publications. Coming to technical, once again, we will read all these four attributes followed by skills. Coming to contract, we'll read these four attributes followed by period. Okay. We just read these values and we will just display it on the console. That is the only aim of this program. So the main aim of this program is to understand the object-oriented concepts like inheritance and polymorphism. And the second thing is we have been asked to, create a class, super class called staff, and that super class has to inherit and inherited, that super class needs to be inherited by all these subclasses, teaching, technical, and contract. So we will write a Java program to read the data types of all these three subclasses, okay, and just display it on the console. For all three categories, we'll just display it on the console. Let us understand. As we know, my dear friends, always the execution of a Java program starts from main method, correct or not? Now we will search for main method here. we have a class main. Inside that, we have public static void main string args. Public static void main string args. Now, in fact, I'll not be dealing with these things in detail. Public static void main. Let me take up another session for that. Now, inside this main method, we are creating an object of teaching class. Remember, we have a teaching class here. We have a teaching class. See, yes, teaching class is there. Class teaching extend staff. There is one more class, class technical extend staff. There is one more class, class contract extend staff. Okay. Now we will create an object of teaching class. We will create an object of technical class. We will create an object of contract class. Later on, what we do, we will just display this statement on the console. Enter details for teaching staff member. Enter the details for teaching staff member. Later on, what we do, with respect to the teaching object, okay, once we have instantiated this teaching class, with respect to the teaching object, we will just say teaching dot accept. Teaching dot accept. Now we will just fetch the details of this teaching class. Now, what are the core details of this? What are the common details that are, what are the common attributes that are, what are the attributes that are common to all these three classes that is present in the staff class? So teaching dot accept. So teaching dot accept, it would go to teaching class there. Is there any such method with the name accept in teaching class? We'll look into it. Yes, teaching staff. See, teaching class teaching extends staff. So private string domain. See, two variables extra have declared. Now here it comes public void accept. Inside this accept method, super dot accept. That means just when the compiler comes across this statement, it is going to transfer the control to superclass accept method. So what is the superclass of teaching class? Obviously, it is staff class. Now the control would jump to accept method of staff class. Accept method of staff class. See here. Now it will come to accept method of staff class. Now by using the scanner class, what will I do? I'll enter the staff ID. Whatever staff ID I enter, I'll put it inside this staff ID variable. Then I'll accept the name. I'll accept the phone. I'll accept the salary. Now the control would come back to this statement. Now the control would come back to this statement. Yes. Scanner new scanner system.in. I'll enter the domain. Then I'll enter the publications. Here, int n is equal to scanner dot next int. Now I need to define the number of publications that I'm going to define. Publication 1, publication 2, 3, up till n number of publications. So system.out.println enter publications. So till the value of n is reached, I'm going to just accept the number of publications. Is that clear? I'm going to accept the number of publications. Now what I'll do, now the control would come back to this statement here. The control would come back to this statement. Now it says enter the details of technical staff member. Technical staff member. So with respect to the object of technical class, I would call the accept method of technical class. Where is the technical class? Yes, it is here. Now the control would come to this accept method. Now it says super dot accept. Super dot accept. That means whatever is the super class method accept, it would go back to the controller. The control would go jump to accept method of staff class. Once again, it will accept staff ID, name, phone number, salary. And apart from that, once the control comes back, once this statement is executed, the control will come back to this statement and it would accept skills. Then number of, supposing if there are more than one skill, again, it is going to see skills is equal to new string of n. Okay, now each skill is a string. So if I'm accepting two skills, it is array of two strings. Okay, enter the skills. For int I is equal to 0, I less than an I plus plus, skills of I is equal to scanner dot next. So I'm just going to accept the skills. I'm just going to accept the number of skills. Okay. Next, what I'll do, now the control would come back to this statement. So here it says enter details of contract staff member. So now it accepts contract dot accept, contract dot accept. And where is the contract class? It is here. It would accept the, now the control, once the control comes here, it would jump to the staff class accept method. What are the variables? Staff ID, name, phone, salary, all these variable values will be accepted. Now here the period, where the period data type will be accepted apart from this. And finally, the control comes back to this statement here. Now system.out.println details for teaching staff member have to be displayed. Now in these set of statements, I have just read the details of the staff members, various staff members. Whatever details I have read now, by using these set of statements, I'm going to display those red items onto the console in the sense on the monitor screen. Details for teaching staff members are teaching.display. Now where is that teaching class? See, teaching.display, it is here. Teaching.display. Okay, see, now super.display method. So display method of staff class will be called, and there it is going to output staff ID, name, phone, salary. Then it will control would come back to this statement, and it will print domain publications. See, for int I is equal to 0, I less than publications dot length I plus plus, it is going to print the number of publications, all the publications. Next, the control would come back to this statement. Details for technical staff member are technical dot display. It would display the details of technical staff member in a similar fashion. Where is the technical? Yes, it is here. It is here. Display super dot display. Once again, it would go back to staff. Okay, staff class, and it would display uh, the staff ID, name, phone, salary of staff, and further followed by skills. Now the control would come back to this statement, and it will display the details of contract staff member apart from printing name, phone, salary. It would print staff ID, and it would print the period data type of particular contract. Okay, is that clear? Yes. So this is what is the Java program, the fourth Java program in object-oriented programming with Java Laboratory of third semester, Computer Science and Engineering, affiliated to Vishveshwaraya Technological University. Okay, so hope all of you have understood. Okay, and meanwhile, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I would like majority of you people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe this video. Thank you, thank you, thank you.